Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Ness. So I hope you guys are doing well. Today I would like to share with you my Monstera collection. We will talk about it one by one. So these are all my Monstera collection. I have Thai, I have albo Borsigiana, I also have Monstera Peru, Siltepecana, standleyana. I have the regular Monstera Deliciosa right over there, and I also have here a not so good looking Monstera Dubia. So I will be starting off with my Monstera adansonii. So this is a very fast growing plant. This is called a Swiss cheese plant because of these holes. So this is a climbing plant. You can have it trailing if you want to, or put a moss pole so they can climb. And then with this one, it's not doing so good, so I decided to propagate it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with the mother plant, but I've been seeing a lot of yellowing and dried leaves. Maybe I'm guilty. I might be overwatering it, so I decided to do a propagation. I cut a good size of adansonii stem and put it inside a bottle. And this one, I think I have it for about, I would say 3 to 4 weeks now. So I have a good amount of roots growing already. Maybe 2 more weeks and I will put it back in soil. So as you can see, this plant is doing well. Look at those fenestrations. They're really good. There's no yellowing. So I have high hopes on this one. So the second plant I will be talking about will be my Monstera Peru. So let me try to get it so you can see it nicely. So I have it in a moss pole, so you can see the foliage, guys. It has a very thick and stiff leaves, and then it's kind of like crumbly, like you can really feel the foliage. So it has a very fenestration also. So from what I've read, when it grow in a wild, the leaves tends to become bigger and it will have a lot of fenestration, like a big fenestration. This one doesn't like light so much, like a direct sunlight, because you can see I just have it outside and I kind of noticed that there's like a sunburn. So I put it back inside the house and now she's doing well. So I think it's about time to add another pole here so they can climb more. So we'll be doing that. So you just have to make sure that you put this plant in a well draining soil, and make sure when you water it you let the soil dry before watering it again. And then the next plant I will be sharing will be my Monstera standleyana. This is the variegated one. So the variegation, as you can see, is just kind of like speckles, like right there. So see, like splashes. So the leaves can grow up to 6 inches. And then you can see I have a one new growth right there. It's gonna come out, I think, pretty soon. And I think it has a good amount of variegation. So when I bought it last week at Rose Bowl Flea Market, I've seen one of these with a good chunk amount of variegation right here, but I didn't pick that one because this one has more leaves and it's a really beautiful plant. So right now she's still in a nursery pot, and I just place her in a cash bowl to make it look much prettier. So this is my standleyana. I think this one also has a regular standleyana. It has a good deep green foliage. So the next one, I think for this plant, they also want a partial shade, and it can be also hanging in a basket, or you can just have it like this when they're in like the house, inside the house. So the next plant we'll be talking about is my Monstera Dubia, which is not looking so good. So as you can see, my Monstera Dubia, when I got it, it was just like a small cutting. I thought I'm already seeing a new growth right there, but then it died on me. So it's been in a sphagnum moss for about 2 months, so I can see more roots. So I think I did see some roots right there. As you can see, there's some roots. But then when I put it here in the soil, I see that this started to do some yellowing right here, and then the leaves dried out. So maybe I'm gonna start to put it back in a water propagation and see if I can still revive my dubia. So this is a really rare find. You can't find it in a big box store, so I really ordered it, and I was hoping that it can be, you know, like trailing on the board, because that's what they really do. I will show you a picture right here of a dubia that is doing its things. This is called also a shingle plant, because in the wild they do tend to attach themselves on the trees. So they will go up in the trees. I will show you a picture so you kind of know what am I talking about. So this is my Monstera Deliciosa. This is my very first Monstera, and Monstera Deliciosa is native to Central America. That's where they normally found. And then they are very well known for their fenestrations, the holes, the natural holes, because as they grow bigger, they tend to have more holes. So mine is still juvenile, and I think I might be doing something with her because she started to yellow. I don't know if it's just because these are the oldest leaves and they're trying to dry it out to make way for the new leaf. So like this one loves a bright indirect light. Water every 1 to 2 weeks, and then let the soil dry before watering again. If you can do a filtered water, you know, like let the water sit overnight, and then before you use it to water this plant is good. And they also love humidity. So if you're gonna put it in leca, then, you know, like the normal routine of giving nutrients every 2 weeks, I've seen a lot of people do that, and it's successful. But if you're gonna put it in soil, make sure that you use a well draining soil, like a lot of perlite. They will love that. So now let's talk about my Monstera albo Borsigiana. I got this as a 1-leaf cutting, and since July it gave me 2 more leaves. So these are the new leaves from a new growth point right here. So now I have an aerial root that's coming out. So I'm hoping it will give me more leaves in the next coming months. But I've heard this is a slow grower. Borsigiana is a lot smaller than Monstera Deliciosa. You can see their leaves are much smaller than the regular Monstera Deliciosa. So their variegation is kind of like sectional right there, or like marbling also. And this type of variegation is a very unstable one. So if you don't give the proper lighting, it can revert. And you don't want that, so you have to make sure that you give the right amount of lighting for this plant. This is very sensitive to water, so don't overwater it if it's in soil. So in my case, I put it in leca balls, so I make sure that the roots is not touching the water. That's why I have set a hole right here, so when I water the plant, the excess water will come out from this hole. So that's it. A lot of people want to have this plant, and I think up to now it's still quite expensive because of all the craziness with variegated plants. So I am fortunate enough to have this in my collection. So let's move on to another variegated Monstera. So this Monstera is called Thai Constellation. You can see the variegation here is mottled. It's like a splash. It's like stars, like constellation of stars. And it's kind of like creamy. This is a tissue cultured type of plant, so the variegation is stable. It won't revert in any way. So that's one thing I love about this. And look at the foliage. It's really, really pretty. And I also have this in leca. When I got this, it's only 2 leaves. So the leaves are these 2. This one and this one. It's a 2-leaf cutting, and then it gave me this new baby leaf, and I'm so happy with this one. Look at the fenestration, guys. It's really, really nice. So I really recommend this plant to any Monstera enthusiast. You should have this in your collection. I have another Monstera that I would like to get in the near future. It's the Monstera aurea. So I will post a picture of that later. So that's on my wish list. The last Monstera I will be sharing with you is the Monstera Siltepecana. So this is Monstera Siltepecana. So you look at the veining right here. It has a very deep green shade of leaf, and the veining is kind of like patterned veining. So when it comes out, it's like lighter green. You can see it's lighter green, but then when it becomes mature, it will be more of a darker shade. So this is a very fast growing plant. I only got it as a cutting, and I place it in leca, and that's it. I just enjoy watching her grow. So you can see here I already did a top cutting, and look at it, guys. The top cutting that I got just have one aerial node, and I'm hoping that it will have a bigger roots so I can transfer it again to soil. So look at the new, it's trying to unfurl. So that's the top cutting I got from my Siltepecana. So you just have to make sure when you propagate, you make sure you have one node, at least, for it to be successful. So that's it. I have shared with you guys all my Monstera collection, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please feel free to comment down below if you have any questions, and please do subscribe in my channel so you won't miss out. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.